Columbus, Ohio. It's Motown Downtown.
Motown Downtown, come on down to Motown Downtown.
Today's guest,
Crazy Comics.
Come on down to Motown Downtown.
My name is Tyson Bruno, and here's your host, Mo Chocolate.
Come on down to Motown Downtown.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Motown Downtown, where we are here to make sure that you have a wonderful time and the greatest time. That's right. Yup. Hi, everybody in chat. Thanks for coming by, everybody. Hello. So, let's welcome today's very, very special guest, shall we? Drum roll, please. Today's guest is one of the most unique guests we've had in a long time. On top of being a content creator and streamer, he's also a songwriter and a musical theater thespian. And above all, one of the coolest guys you will ever meet. So please welcome the crazy man himself, Crazy Comics! What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up?
I'm good. How you been, buddy?
I've been alright, man. I hope you've been good too.
Being a musical theater guy, I figured you would like tap dance on camera or something.
I didn't have my planned choreography. Someone else has to write that.
Gotcha. Well, before we get started, first and foremost, man, thank you. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come here to Motown Downtown. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you for having me, man.
Awesome sauce, yeah. So, for everybody watching right now who has no idea who you are, tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, I am a... Wow, I just blanked on everything that I am. Yeah, actually, your intro did a pretty good job of that. I'm a Kingdom Hearts 2 randomizer runner. I do musical theater. I play music. I teach music. Most things in my life revolve around music. Yeah, and I just try to be chill and have a good time, talk philosophical here and there and everywhere. And, yeah, just have a good time with life, man.
Nice. Yeah, we love having a good time with that. That's why I invited you. We have that good vibes theme going on, basically.
Yeah, man, that's what's up.
So, tell me about your early years as a kid. But before you were Crazy Comics, tell me about the pre-comics, the prequel to Crazy Comics. Like, what were you Team PlayStation, Team Nintendo, or Team Sega?
Okay, so I started off as Team Nintendo.
Nice.
My parents had a Super Nintendo when I was younger. We were very slow to catch up to technology. So for a long time, I played on the Super Nintendo and on a Game Boy that were given to me by my uncle. And I started out, my first game, my favorite game of all time, Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past.
Oh, perfect. Perfect.
I played the hell out of that game. It was so good. I love that. Lost Vikings 2. We had some baseball games because my dad was really big into baseball, still really is. And then on the Game Boy, I had Pokemon Red and Blue, both of them.
Nice.
So yeah, I had both Oddish and a Bellsprout, so that was fun.
I love that.
Yeah, man. But yeah, and then years down the line, my uncle also gave me his Sega Genesis. So I had both sides of the console war at one point, and I had Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Knuckles. So I played all of them.
You had all the team members, man. Amazing.
Yeah, I had a really good childhood looking back at it. And I was very happy, and just as life went on, just accrued. Yeah, we'll say accrued. More video game consoles. So like I have PS1 through 5. I have the Wii. I have Wii U, Switch, like everything except for Xbox.
Down box, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, I have my PC for that. So.
Nice. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, pretty much. So, did you have any favorite games growing up? Like, what would you say were some of your favorite games growing up?
Yeah, so I had favorite games, depending on different parts of my life, because I can distinctly remember like different games that I had like throughout my different years. So like whenever I was a kid, like Link to the Past, Sonic 2,
Nice.
Pokemon, and then as I got older and everything like that, and the consoles changed and everything like that, I played the heck out of Spyro. Once I got my PlayStation,
We love
once I
Spyro
got my
here.
once I got my Wii, the weirdest game that was one of my favorites that I loved was One Piece Unlimited Adventure for the Wii.
Wow.
Because I'm a huge One Piece fan, and so
Amazing.
I played the hell out of that game and tried to complete it, which you really can't complete that game without like a ton of grinding. But yeah, like I just love most video games, like most genres, most types of games, and everything like that. So, but those are some of the ones that really stand out to me that are just like core memories of gaming.
Amazing. Now, regarding that One Piece game, did that have like motion controls implement?
It
How
did.
did that work?
Well, you would shake it, and Luffy would gum Gatling.
By doing this?
Yeah, it just do that, and
That's funny.
he's going off. Yeah. Oh yeah, Kingdom Hearts 2 at some point. Yeah, that happened. That's another game that I really like.
Oh, we will
surprisingly.
definitely get into Kingdom Hearts later in the show.
Oh, yeah.
And question for everybody watching: how's the audio? Can you hear my guests just fine? Can you hear me just fine? If there's any tinkers I need to do, I need to do, please let me know and I will adjust. Anyway, so moving away from that, so now I want to talk about your content creation career. Like what was the big inspiration to like start streaming on Twitch, and what inspired you to start streaming this to go down the streaming on Twitch path?
Yeah, so that really started near the end of my college journey. So this was like 2019, we'll say 2018, 2019. I was getting really big into watching randomizers at that point. I was watching Link to the Past randomizer, usually through Andy.
Hey, shout out to Andy.
I love Andy. He's so good. But then Kingdom Hearts 2 got a randomizer. And I watched a content creator called Bloody Biscuits. He really doesn't stream too much anymore.
Okay.
But he was like one of the precursors with Kingdom Hearts 2 randomizer. Him, Spike Vegeta, like the creators of it, Sonic Shadow Silver 2, Zack the Robot, like all those guys. And so like I was like team Bloody Biscuits, like all the way, and everything like that. And my only thought was I need to play this at some point, right? And so I finished out college, went home, I had a PC, I set everything up, and one of the big things was for racing the randomizer and everything like that, so that people knew that you weren't cheating and everything like that, you had to stream it. So really I started streaming to do like the randomizer stuff and everything. So like I started out doing Link to the Past randomizer and Kingdom Hearts 2 randomizer and stuff like that, and then slowly worked its way into, hey, I want to play this game with an audience. Let's do that.
Nice.
And just some of my favorite gaming experiences came from just streaming.
Amazing. So like, did you have to buy like a capture card and get 2 monitors? Like, what type of equipment did you buy to start the streaming path?
Yeah, so I needed to get a capture card. I think I got one years ago because I wanted to do like Let's Plays and stuff like that online. With a couple of buddies of mine, and then they kind of fell out of it. So I was like, yeah, we're not going to do this. So I had a capture card like already that I got, like, years ago. I'm still using that thing. That thing is
Nice.
still chugging along. My computer's 12 years old. That capture card is like 7, 8 years old.
It still works.
So it still works. Yeah, I did upgrade like my keyboard, my mouse, my camera, that's what it's called. And my mic, I need to get a new one.
Sounds good, actually.
Thanks. Yeah, but when it came to the dual monitors, my dad worked as a tech for a like computer company. So he like ran wire in places and stuff like that, and everybody else was in IT. So they're like, hey, we have like all these extra monitors. So we ended up like
Wow.
taking 4 or 5 of them, and so like as they would die out, I would just replace it with a new one,
That
and
is
now I'm out of
wow.
monitors.
That is
So
incredible. You got the hookup. Shout
yeah,
out to that group.
yeah.
That's
Um,
amazing. So,
but yeah,
like,
man.
now I want to ask you about your online username. This is my favorite question to ask because everybody has a unique story behind their online username. So, tell us the origin of Crazy Comics. Go.
Oh boy. So I here's one thing. The one thing that I don't like is my username. I like everything else about like all the experiences, everything like that, but my username like came from a long time ago. So this was middle school. All right. This was like 6th grade. I had some comic book ideas. I still have comic book ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was creating all these characters with a buddy of mine, just kind of refining them and stuff like that. Came up with stories. I still have a lot of like the bare bones ideas of like where these stories would go and stuff like that. And my buddy was like, "Hey, what would our comic book company name me be?" And I was like, "Crazy Comics." And
I
so
like that.
that was it. And because there's Detective Comics, which is DC Comics, so it's funny how they have Detective Comics, and then Marvel. So I was like, let's do a Crazy Comics, and then that never went anywhere. But I started using it as like usernames for like online games and stuff like that, and I just kind of kept it going. Um, I've thought about changing my name every once in a while, but
Mm-hmm.
it would be very difficult to try to maintain a brand
Mm-hmm.
or something like that and be like, oh, who's this new guy and everything like that. Like I know one of our mutual friends, Carly,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Carly Stella, and everything like that. It went through her name change and everything online, and I was like, yeah, like I kind of get that of like everybody knew you as this,
Yeah.
so trying to transfer over to this is a little difficult. But
Yeah.
whether I like it or not, I'm stuck with it, and
I like it.
yeah, it's fun. So anybody calls me crazy or comics, and I'm like,
Or
okay,
CC.
CC, I'm good with.
I love
You
it.
call
Yeah.
me CC? Yes,
And can we
I'm
get a
down.
shout out for Carly Stella, please and thank you. Also,
Oh,
our friend Xander went through a name change. Also, he was Josh Sheets for the longest time, and now he's Xander.
oh,
Yeah,
that's cool.
yeah.
Okay,
So
yeah,
I get where you're coming from, but it's like once you like, because I have to constantly remind myself it's Xander, not Josh Sheets, because it's been like years I called him Josh Sheets and stuff. Yeah.
yeah.
Also, a shout out for Xander. Also, please, and thank you. So,
Heck yeah.
next question is so once you start streaming on Twitch, what is the one game that gave you the best streaming experience and the one game that gave you the absolute worst streaming experience?
Okay, that's a really good question. So my number one, it comes down to 2 games. Obviously, I did a lot of Kingdom Hearts 2 randomizer, and that's like my
Mm-hmm.
bread and butter, right? But I love like trying out new games that I know I'm going to enjoy, and I just want other people to enjoy with me. And the 2 that most that were that way, and they're like in my top 5 favorite games that I've ever played, are Tunic and Sekiro.
Nice.
um I loved like overcoming the obstacles in Sekiro and like figuring out the bosses and their patterns and everything like that. Absolutely loved that. And I still go back and play that game just because of the mechanics of it and everything like that. Like I'm not I don't think I would ever like Dark Souls or Elden Ring just due to the level of customization because that's really not
Yeah.
my thing. I don't like games that are too big or too expansive,
Yeah.
right? But Sekiro is like, no, sword, go. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, so I didn't have to worry about it. But then Tunic, oh my god, that game, you like find out new things about it as you play it,
So
and
good.
it's so good. It's such a cool experience, and that was one I was fortunate to have like people in my chat who were like, no, like here's what's going on. Like you've got like they were there to help me if I was like really having trouble with it. And it wasn't until like end game where I actually was like, okay, can you just tell me the solution? Because I was like, no, I'm gonna figure this out. Like, and I was having a really good time figuring it out, and like people supporting me and helping me through that.
Amazing.
Um, and I really enjoyed that. But in terms of the worst game that I've played, like, does it have to be on stream and everything like that?
Yeah. Streaming experience, yeah.
Okay, yeah, cause
Also, one quick shout out for Carly Stella, please, and thank you. Go on,
yeah, absolutely, 100%.
follow her.
But yeah, yeah, it's honestly my mind doesn't go back to a particular game because I've really enjoyed all of the games that I've played, and streaming them really helped enhance the experience
Mm-hmm.
with them. Um, but I think back to like the early days where like I didn't know what I was doing, where I was just like, okay, how do I stream? Like someone raided into me, what do I do now? And like people had to tell me like, oh no, like tell people who you are. Like just let them know what you do. And I'm like, okay. And so like that was really just the like start of it was the streaming to one or two people. Like the really small streams early on, like because I'm someone who thrives in social situations,
Mm-hmm.
thrives when there's a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
and so to like have no interaction, to feel like I was screaming into a void, like that was like what was really affecting me.
Mm-hmm.
But thankfully through like time and effort and just being able to put myself out there and especially reconnect, which we'll get to that
Oh
later
yes.
on down the line. But yeah, that really opened me up. Like now I've got a good community. I've got a lot of great friends
Amazing.
that I've made through Twitch and stuff like that. But those early days, like that was
You love
that
to
was a
see it.
rough time. Yeah. Yeah.
So, how long have you been streaming comics?
4 years.
4 years?
I
4 years
think?
ish. Yeah.
4 years ish, because it was basically around 2020.
Okay.
Um, that's when I started like streaming a lot. I think I might have had like one or two like early streams where I'm like, I can do this, so let's do this.
Okay.
But like when I was like, oh no, I'm going to stream regularly,
Mm-hmm.
that was around 2020. So
Gotcha. I asked because as someone who's been streaming for about 4 years now, what advice would you give someone that wants to start streaming on Twitch now? Like what games to play, what equipment to get, all that jazz.
it's it's interesting, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of different people who I've seen like do streaming in their own ways. And I think that's the beauty of streaming is yes, you can come on and you're like, "Oh, here's this big streamer that like I want idolize and I want to be like them and
Mm-hmm.
everything like that." But I don't think that's the case.
Mm-hmm.
My big advice would be do you. Like what games should you play? Play games you like,
Exactly.
because the games that you like is going to attract the same people. They're like, "Oh, I love One Piece Unlimited Adventure." like like oh my gosh, like someone's playing this, like blah, blah, blah. Equipment, I started out with a little ball mic that had like camera that had a little mic in it, sounded like dog crap, but that's what got me started. Like that's what it was. So I feel like you don't have to put a ton of money into streaming, but you have to put a ton of effort. Just in terms of like effort of who you are, what you're trying to come across, and like putting your personality out there.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You're trying to sell yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and that sounds weird. Um, but but that's essentially what you're trying to do
Yeah.
as streaming. Like I came here today with my
Your
the,
look.
the profile that you
Yeah.
put out there. Yeah,
I
this
love
is
it.
me. Like so that's me, and people who have met me, people who know me in person, everything like that. This is me. Like this is how I am, like 24/7. Except when I have mental health days, because everybody has mental health
Yeah.
days. Watch out for yourselves.
Yes.
And
100%.
respect yourselves. But yeah, like this is me most of the time. So yeah, just do you. That's my
You're
biggest
not
advice.
scared to be seen. You make no apologies. This is me. Pretty much. Exactly.
Yeah, that's what's up.
So this community that you build, comics. What are your thoughts on your own personal community? And like, do you have a special shout out you would like to give to anyone?
I love the community I've built. It's such a diverse group. And most of them are from it's really funny. I pulled them from a bunch of other groups and they
Yeah.
all just kind of coagulated into my group. But it's a lot of reconnect people.
Yes.
Meeting a bunch of you guys out in Dallas, like that really did wonders for me because that brought in like you,
Yes.
Bambi, Carly, Chad, like so many great people, and then like people from their community come in and support me because they're my friends and everything like that. One person I want to give a huge shout out to is Palpu Komi.
Yes.
They are one of my best friends on this platform, and without them, I wouldn't have gotten to reconnect because
Wow.
that's how I heard it. That's how I heard about it. They do a charity tourney every year for the Kingdom Hearts 2 rando community, and they're raising money um, for the American Heart Association, St. Jude's, stuff like that.
Wow.
They're
That's
really trying to make a
amazing.
difference and everything like that. I absolutely love them to death. And I wouldn't have the community that I have without them. And just the KH2 rando community in general. Like those were my buds. Like I will never forget the 2 a.m. Hey, anybody want to race? Yeah, and like 5 people would hop in. Like DGen hours, just going to town on this game. And it wasn't really about who won or who lost. It was just about shooting the shit and just
It's
having a good
amazing,
time.
yeah.
Also forgive me if I swear. I'm a natural
18 and
swearer.
over. You can say
Okay.
whatever the fuck
Okay.
you want, bruh.
Cool.
It's all
Okay.
good.
Okay. But yeah, so those are the two big ones. Like I love the KH2 random community. I'm so fortunate to have so many great friends through that. Made wonderful experiences on camera and off camera with them. And then the Reconnect crew. Like that's really
Facts.
where they've all come from. And
Facts.
some of the best
One,
people I've
please
known.
post a link to reconnect in chat. Folsey, you are just the best mod ever. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, Foles.
Oh my God, Folsey. Oh my
Yes.
God. Give a shout out to Folsey. My God.
Exactly.
What a bro.
The world will be a lot. The world is a much better place with when Folsey's here. Facts.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So,
Such a sweetheart.
moving away from that, now we're going to go to our first topic of the day. Now I want to talk about Super Smash Brothers. Let's talk about the smashing of the bros, shall we?
Okay.
So, comics, who are your mains in a Smash Bros?
Okay, so it has been a while since I played Smash Brothers. I actually lost my copy of Smash Brothers.
Oh,
Ultimate,
no.
and I am scared. So if anybody finds it out there,
Yeah.
just hit me up. Let me know. I love Sora, obviously.
Facts, yeah.
But my main is Link. I've been a Link main since I first played Melee back in the day. I'm also one of those NES players. Like, I do pretty good with Ness. I just can't get his up B to get back onto the stage. Like I still have trouble with that to this day. But those three are the ones that I usually go for. Just in general. Trying to think of any others that like really at the top of my list. Those three are at the top of my list though. I'll pretty much play anything. But yeah, I've got some Smash stories. Not
Gotcha.
tournament wise, but just fun stories.
Gotcha. Now, do you have a favorite and least favorite character reveal trailer besides Sora? What's your favorite and least favorite character reveal trailer?
Trying to think. Okay, so one of my favorites. It's funny that it's not so much my favorite is because of the trailer, and my least favorite is because of the character. So it's just how it be. But for my favorite, just because of the music that hit whenever it happened, was Simon and Richter Belmont. Because I love the atmosphere of that trailer and everything like that. And as soon as Vampire Killer comes on for Simon, I'm like, yes. This is it. Give me the metal Castlevania music. And then my favorite Castlevania track is from Bloodlines, is Richter's theme. So whenever that came on, I'm like, yes, there we go. Like so I was loving the music and everything like that. Like I love most of the Smash trailers and stuff like that, but that was one that really left an impact on me. Besides Sora, because my God, I cried all day because I was so happy. I mean, Sephiroth is also really cool too.
Yes.
Because, like, children. Oh my God, and him slashing the
Mario.
the boss. Oh my god, almost killing Mario.
Yeah.
I love it. I do have when we get to Final Fantasy later on down the line, like I've got a fun story for you.
Yay.
Um, yay. um, but my least favorite, it's because I am not a huge Minecraft person.
Oh my god, thank you. Me
So when I was
too.
like-
Me too. That's
So when I
always the
was like-
one person.
I'm like, they're like Steve. I'm like, okay.
Okay.
I guess
Okay,
you're
Jack
like
Black
the latter
body.
half. Yeah, I was like, you're the latter half of that $25 that I'm gonna pay for.
I woke up early, bro. It was like 9 a.m. for me. I come down here, I record my reaction, and I'm like, oh, Mario's in darkness. It's Sora. And then we see Minecraft. I turn everything off and I go to bed. Like, get the fuck out of here.
I love literally every Smash trailer opening up with "It's Sora."
It's Sora.
like just like we're trying to connect it so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like when Steve got revealed, I'm like, okay.
I don't like the game.
felt
I
more
played
for
the game.
Min
Yeah.
than
I played the
Steve.
game and I'm like, this is not for me. I understand it's like the biggest game ever right now. Cool.
Right.
But me personally, I just don't like it. But for the people, I mean, it did break the internet. Like
Oh, yeah.
Steve and Smash Bros. What? That was
That-
pretty cool.
That is one thing I'll say. If you're a fan of Steve and everything like that, power to you. Glad your character got in. Just did nothing for me. So, there you go.
So let's talk about Sora now for Smash because before I tell you mine, tell me about what that experience was like for you when Sora was revealed for the first time. Did you record your reaction and stuff? Like how did that impact you?
So I'm a bad content creator. I don't record anything that I do. But no, like I woke up that morning and I knew it was the last character being
Yeah.
announced. And thankfully, like I woke up and saw the trailer and everything like that and was not spoiled. And I was just like, okay, like let's do this. And yeah, like as soon as the Keyblade showed up, like tears, just nonstop tears. And I came downstairs and my sister, I went through and played through every single Kingdom Hearts game with her.
Nice.
'Cause she loves anime, but I need to introduce her to most anime.
Yeah.
No offense to her. But like I got her into My Hero. She loves My Hero.
Such a good
I got
show.
her into I got her into Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Now she's into it. But I came downstairs and I'm crying and she's like, "Are you okay?" I said, "Sora got in," and she's like, like just immediately like pulled up the trailer and we just like sat there crying and everything like that.
Aw, that is wholesome as fuck. Wow, I love that.
I love it. Like that. Well, and hell, that was before Reconnect.
Mm-hmm.
Like that means so much more now. But
Mhm.
like, I just remember like always loving that series, and Kingdom Hearts is like Legend of Zelda Kingdom Hearts, like
Right there,
directly
yeah.
below it. It's right there. And hell, fun fact, there are only 3 tattoos I want to get in my life.
Mhm.
One is a Zelda tattoo, a One Piece tattoo, and a Kingdom Hearts tattoo. Because
Nice.
those are 3 things I'm
Perfect.
never going to stop loving.
Perfect.
So,
Same here,
so there
buddy.
you go.
Same here.
Yeah.
I want to get a Pokemon and Dragon Ball tattoo and a God of
Oh.
War and Kingdom Hearts tattoo on me because, again, like you said, I will never stop loving those franchises.
Oh, absolutely.
But
And
it's-
yeah, even at that time, it's just like, see Sora floating around.
And no one dies. Nobody dies.
Yeah, like it was just so beautiful. I was like,
the
"That's so
music.
cool."
I-
I never before had that music hit for me as much as it did then. I was like, oh my god.
That is my favorite gaming moment of my life, man. It is not only my favorite Smash Bros. Reveal, but when somebody asks me, what is your most fondest gaming moment, it's that moment right there. Because for years, bro, I'm talking like 4 or 5 years, I would battle with people online all the time. People are saying like, oh, Sora's never getting in. That's impossible. And I'm like, oh, yes, he can get in. We would bicker
yeah.
back and forth for years. And once Sephiroth came by, I'm like, yeah, Sora's not getting in. So I was genuinely surprised when it was Sora. I thought it'd be like Dark Souls or something, but seeing is like I destroyed my room. That was the loudest I've ever screamed in my entire life.
Oh man,
Seriously,
that's so good.
and like, yeah, I still play Smash Bros right now, and I'm like, I'm actually looking at Sora right now. What?
Yeah.
It is so surreal, and it's overall it's crazy because Disney was all for it. It was Nomura that was more like, I don't know. So
Pushes up his glasses. I know.
yeah, that's my next question is, why do you think it was so hard for people to accept that it's possible for Sora to get into Smash Bros?
Why was it so hard? I think it was just the amount of hoops that they had to hop through.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, yeah, it's a Disney character technically.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people I remember back in the day, and you'll probably attest to this, being a huge Dragon Ball fan, it was the same as like people being like Goku should be in Smash Brothers and stuff like that. Where it's like this feels like a different medium, almost, right? To deal with Disney and stuff like that, right? But honestly, like I always held out hope. I was never one of those people who's like, oh, this time it's Sora. This time it's Sora. I was always like, top of my brain, I'm like, I would love for Sora to be in this. Like this, like whoever gets in, great. But like, I would love for Sora to get into this, right? But as a kid, when I was playing Brawl and Snake was in it, I was like, it's like, okay, that is what gave me hope, because I was like, this is a primarily Sony character.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this could be interesting. And then Cloud got in for 3DS and Wii U, and I was like, okay, the positive vibes and the realization, like, could be more and more, like, as time goes on.
I remember back in the Brawl days seeing Sonic in the game. I'm like, wait, Sonic's in the game?
Sonic,
yeah. I was like, Sonic and Mario will actually fight now? Yes.
Well, and that was the thing, was like, yeah, Sonic was Sega, but now, like, most of Sonic's games, because I've played the hell out of Sonic Unleashed on Wii, like, yeah, like, he's now on Nintendo consoles. That makes sense. But Snake, I was like, okay, Twin Snakes was like the only thing that was released on Nintendo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. On GameCube, yeah.
Press X to doubt.
and so my next question is comics. If you could pick one character to appear in the next Smash Bros. Game, no questions asked, who would it be and why? The thinking face.
That's a big question.
For me, it would be Kratos, 100%. Like, I know Sony and Nintendo don't really get along, but if I could pick one more character, the clown makeup prediction for me would be Kratos, but the realistic one would be Crash Bandicoot. Facts. Crash Bandicoot. He'd be perfect.
I remember playing, like, what was it, PlayStation All-Stars Battle
Oh,
Royale
yeah, that one, yeah.
Stuff like that. And I love that. But yeah, the fun thing is most of the characters that came to mind for me already came in as like Mii costumes, stuff like that. So like Sans from Undertale, Shovel Knight, stuff like that. However, the Fox from Tunic,
perfect, yeah.
That hasn't been in there yet.
Yeah.
And like you could do him as like a Zelda clone or like a Link clone, a Link Echo. That'd be funny.
Yeah,
it was just
I like
a
that.
Link Echo. Yeah, but honestly, like there aren't too many characters anymore that like I'm like, oh no, this guy needs to be in there and stuff like that. Like I'd agree with you with Kratos. Like that's a gaming icon that should be in there.
I'm surprised you're not saying Shadow or something.
I mean, Echo Fighters like exist now.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So if you brought in like Shadow and stuff like that, like he'd probably be an Echo Fighter of Sonic and stuff like that.
It does bother me.
He was never a costume.
Yeah.
Like, that's the weirdest thing for me.
It does bother me that there's only one Sonic rep, just one. Like, where's Knuckles? Where's Eggman? Where's Shadow? They
were all throughout Brawl.
Pretty much, yeah.
They're all in the background, just chilling. Right?
So, speaking of Sora, now I want to talk about Kingdom Hearts. Let's
Oh,
talk
that
about
battle
Kingdom
chestnut.
of the Hearts.
Yeah.
Because man, oh man, that's what brought this beautiful friendship together, people. So like, yeah, just tell me, what was your first impression of Kingdom Hearts when you saw it for the very first time?
Oh, this is gonna be a fun story. Okay. Um, so my first time I ever heard of the game was when I was a kid and seeing the commercials on TV with Sanctuary in the
hmm
background, where they were showing like clips of it and everything like that. They're like Kingdom Hearts, and just Sanctuary was playing. I'm like, that looks really freaking cool, and that was about it for about 3 years. Um, I think I was like just barely double digits, so we'll say 10. We'll say 10. I had a buddy down the street from me, neighbor of ours, that sold video games out of his garage. And my
hmm
mom walked us down the road to buy some video games and stuff like that because we had pretty much every video game system, so we could play anything. And we went down there, and he had some really killer games. He had Metroid Prime, he had Wind Waker, he had
Wow.
like all these cool games. So a lot of my favorite games that I've ever played in my life came from his garage, like, which was insane. Um, but he's like, "Are you a fan of Disney?" I said, "Yeah." And he was like, "Well, you'll love Kingdom Hearts." I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, I'll give this a look." And so I took it home, and he's like, "Yeah, this is the first game." I'm like, "Okay." And so I go home, I plop it in, and there's this blonde-haired kid. He's waking up. Um, and then there's these flashes of what looked like another game, and I was like, "What the hell is going on?" And I take it back to his house. I'm like, "I think this is the second one." So I unknowingly got sold the second game of the franchise first. So my first impression of the series was Roxas, um, which is still my favorite character
Yeah.
in the series, no, hands down, no questions asked. But he's like, "Here's my personal copy of one. You don't have to pay anything for this. This is my mistake." And so he gives it to me, and so that's how I got into Kingdom Hearts.
Okay,
Um,
that is one
first
amazing
games.
story. I remember seeing the trailer, the commercial on on the Disney Channel, because I watched a lot of Disney
Yeah.
Channel growing up, and I mean, at the time I thought it looked dumb, so I never played Kingdom Hearts 1. This is 2002, a completely different version of me.
Yeah.
So but then when Kingdom Hearts 2 came out, I played that and I loved it. But yeah, when I saw it for the first time, I was like, eh. But so yeah, so what was playing the because the game is notorious for being really hard towards the end. So like, how did you? What was that like for you back in those days? Like, did you rage quit a lot, or did you just keep going? What?
No, I kicked ass at the game.
Hell yeah,
Like dude, I am a certified gamer. Okay,
hell
you
yeah.
stick a controller in my hand, and I've never played a game before. I won a freaking Mortal Kombat tournament. Never once touched the game in my life.
Wow.
I was at a robotics competition. These guys were like, "Hey, we're playing Mortal Kombat down here. You want to join?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And I come down, and they're like, "Well, what?" I'm like, "What's some combos?" And they're like, "This one, this one, this one." I'm like, "Okay." And then I'm playing Scorpion and just beat everybody. Like I was, it's like okay. Um, but yeah, so yeah, I played on standard, um, for Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, and I had Days, I had Recoded, and it took me forever until like the collections to do Recom, Birth by Sleep. Um, I had DDD on 3DS. Um, but yeah, like I did pretty well at the games. Like the only ones that ever stumped me were Sephiroth
Okay.
in Kingdom Hearts 2. I never even attempted him in Kingdom Hearts 1. Um, because I didn't know existed. Like I missed most of the secret bosses except for Kurt Zisa, which I was able to figure him out pretty well. But I also like played a lot of the originals, so like I didn't have the final mix versions for
hmm
a long time. So I didn't have to worry about data battles. I didn't have to worry
Yeah.
about Eps and silhouettes or anything like that. Lingering Will. It was just Sephi. Um, and yeah, so like beat my head against a wall for a while, but like I was like, oh no, I'm getting this.
Yeah.
And after a while, I got them and stuff like that. Um, but it the one thing I've learned is that there's a lot of games that I've loved that I don't get mad at.
Mm-hmm.
I get determined.
That's a good point.
And Kingdom Hearts was one of those where I was like, I'm having a rough time with this. I need to beat this.
I like that.
This game needs to be my bitch. Let's do it.
Determination. Yeah. Use the paddle back there to spank it.
Oh yeah. Oh that's got a. Oh, do you want the story on that paddle?
Is that a Kingdom? Is that Kingdom Hearts 3 on there? Okay. Well,
So
since we're talking about Kingdom Hearts 3, yeah.
yeah. So this is I'm not gonna bring it closer because it has my actual name on it.
Yeah.
And we can't see it from there. But what happened was I was joining a honorary band service fraternity.
Yeah.
At my college, Kappa Kappa Psi.
Nice.
And I was going through my process, and we had bigs and littles. So someone who was in the fraternity, and then there was the littles who were coming in, right? And so I ranted nonstop during that time to my big about how Kingdom Hearts 3 was coming out soon. And because January of 2019?
Yes.
Yeah, January 2019 was when it came out, and I was starting my process in like October and finishing in March. So pretty much, like, Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out, I binge play the game all the way through, no spoilers and everything like that. And I'm just ranting and raving about how much I love this game. And so at the end of our process, we give a paddle to our bigs, and they give us a paddle. And I think for my big, I drew on hers like all the anime that she said she liked, and the different things that we would talk about and stuff like that. But for her, she drew the Kingdom Hearts 3 logo, the PlayStation symbols, a bunch of hidden Mickeys all over it, and stuff like that. So like she went to town on it. And so I keep that with me. That's like one of my favorite memories from college.
Incredible.
Was fraternity and like, yeah, Kingdom Hearts as well. So
that is like one of the coolest merch I've seen. Unofficial merch I've seen.
Oh yeah. Unofficial merch, it's mine. Like,
yes, pretty much. Exclusivity.
Yeah, this is history, dude.
And so do you necessarily have a favorite and least favorite game in the series?
Oh yes.
Let's know.
Kingdom Hearts 2. Favorite.
Yes.
Hands down, no question. That's what got me into streaming. The randomizer, I still play it to this day. Such a beautiful experience. Hands down, least favorite Kingdom Hearts game, Birth by Sleep.
Okay, I'm surprised. Wow,
No
like usually that's like okay. Why is that?
Let me go down my list favorites.
Put down your pitchforks, everybody.
Oh yeah, so here we go. So these are my opinions.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody's entitled to their own opinions.
Yeah.
You love what you love. I love Recom. I went back and played it again to get the platinum.
Nice.
And I was like, I really enjoyed this game. Like, I legitimately enjoyed it way more than when I was a kid. Dream Drop Distance, I have nostalgia for. So I love that one. And I tolerate the Dream Eater system and everything like that. I have never been a fan of the command deck system, like where you like slot in what you want to do and stuff like that. I think some games do them better than others. So like Recoded does it really well. Dream Drop does it pretty all right. But Birth by Sleep, it's the only Kingdom Hearts game I've never platinumed.
Okay.
I still have not platinumed it. I hate that you have to play through the game 3 times with 3 characters who have very different styles. So you have to 100% complete it with every character. And some have an easier time than others with different bosses and stuff like that. But the one thing I've always hated about the command deck system is there are base abilities that are in like Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, 3 that just instinctively come with Sora. So, for example, sliding dash or flash step
Mm-hmm.
to like gap close and get closer to your enemy. That is an ability that you have to put onto the command deck. You cannot close your gap any way, shape,
Oh,
or form,
okay, okay.
and everything like that.
That's a good point.
You're hiding base parts of your move set, or things that make the move set fun behind your command deck.
I
And
never
then you have
thought of
to
it that
wait to
way.
use.
That's
Yeah,
actually a pretty good point.
yeah, and then like the melding and getting your you have to do the right kind of things to get your abilities and stuff like that. Now, granted, the Dreamweaver system ain't that freaking good anyway, either with it and everything like that. Once again, Recoded did it really well.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, Recoded I think is underrated. Just from a gameplay perspective, it's not great as a story, but like it's pretty good gameplay. But yeah, Birth by Sleep just has flamed me time and time and time again in my completionist journey, and I can't forgive it.
Gotcha. So you just
So,
watched the movies online then?
oh no, I beat the game. I just
Okay.
haven't platinumed it.
Gotcha.
And I love the characters, I love the story and everything like that. But like from a gameplay perspective, which is why I keep coming back to Kingdom Hearts. That's why I keep doing Kingdom Hearts 2
Yeah.
Rando. It just it's unsatisfying to play.
Gotcha.
I guess is
All
the
right.
best way I can put it.
I got you on that. Yeah, I didn't play Birth by Sleep or Kingdom Hearts 1 until the collections came out. When 1.5 came out was the first time I ever played KH1. And when 2.5 came out was the first time I played Birth by Sleep. So yeah, God bless those collections.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I am fortunate that like I said, as a kid I did have days Recoded. I don't know where they're at anymore. I think I might have lent them to friends. But I had like all those handheld games, so I got to play them on the handhelds and stuff. So
Gotcha.
it was really cool being able to do that. I admit I want to play Days again because I love
Really
that
good game.
Mm.
It's so my next question, comics, is what was that long wait for Kingdom Hearts 3 like for you? It was torture for me. But what was that long 13-year wait like for you?
So this is a way that I see myself different from most other Kingdom Hearts fans.
Yeah.
Like I do legitimately love the series.
Yeah.
I do like obviously I'm like please give me Kingdom Hearts 4. Please give me this sequel.
Yeah.
Like I'm in that same boat with you guys and everything like that. I feel for you. However, life there's so much more to life than just doing that. So I was like, okay, like let me finish high school, let me finish college and everything like that. So I wasn't like dwelling on it every waking day. And I had a ton of games on my backlog that I could go and play. I still have a ton of games on my backlog that I can go play. Like, yeah, I want Kingdom Hearts 4 and everything like that, but I want to play Ghost of Tsushima. I want to play Nier. Like, I want to do all these other games and everything like that. So, like, yeah, I'm like, God, this is taking forever for them to get Kingdom Hearts 3 out and everything like that. There were times where I definitely felt like a bunny with a carrot taped to a string in front of me. But I'm just like, there's more to life. There's more that I can be doing. I can put my attention somewhere else and do some other good and everything like that. So that's how I always viewed like yeah, I'm a Kingdom Hearts fan and I would love for the next game to come out at some point, but I'd also like a really good quality product. So put the time you need into it, put in the effort and everything like that, and hopefully it's good. Because
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 3 is pretty good.
It was seeing that trailer for Kingdom Hearts 3 for the first time, man. That was
Oh, yeah.
another moment because at that point, Kingdom Hearts 3 was a dream. It was a myth. It was a legend. And to see it actually, seeing gameplay, seeing Sora for the first time in the 3 engine,
yeah.
it was just, I will never forget walking to work with a pep in my step, with a big smile on my face. I was so happy that
God.
they acknowledged Kingdom Hearts 3 and
Riding
Getting-
the wave of shadows, just so
Yeah.
cool. I was so in.
I still go back and
So
watch that trailer. I'm just like, this was such a happy moment, man.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh, dude, you want to talk about going back and watching trailers and happy moments?
yeah,
Dude, Tears of the Kingdom had one of the best trailers that I've ever seen for a game.
facts.
And then the game comes out, and I'm like, okay,
It's okay.
it's okay.
It's just like I remember buying Kingdom Hearts 3, holding the disc in my hand. I'm like, I've been waiting for this game since 2006. I've dreamed about this game, and it's right here in front of me. Popping in the disc, looking at the title screen for a good 10 minutes, crying, bro. It's
I
one of
felt
it's
that.
one of my biggest regrets in life is not streaming Kingdom Hearts 3 for the first time. Because I was like still living out on my own, and I did not have any of this equipment yet. So it's just the first 10 minutes looking at the title screen just crying. But how about
Yeah.
you popping in Kingdom Hearts 3 for the first time? What was that like for you?
Oh, I quickly finished up my college classes for the day. I went to my local GameStop where I ordered the deluxe edition, which I never do. Like I never like there are very few games where I'm like, "Oh no, I want like the deluxe edition." The only other games that I think that I did that for were Pikmin 4 and Tears of the Kingdom. Like were the only ones that I ever did that for. And yeah, like drove a little bit quicker home than I should have. Yeah, but literally just like you, man. Like took it out and I like looked at it for a while. I put it in my disc, put it in the game, and yeah, like that title screen. As soon as the piano started, I'm like, oh no, like it's coming, and like I'm just sitting there like sobbing because I'm like,
It's
because
actually here.
that's the cool thing about games, and the cool thing about like these franchises that keep going, your Zeldas, your Kingdom Hearts, your Metroids, like stuff like that, where as soon as you put in that game, you're transported. Like I remember playing Kingdom Hearts 1. I remember like the moment when I saw Broxus for the first time. Like I remember that stuff, and it all floods back when there's a new thing. Like what was it? What was the Zelda game that I played? Because it wasn't the Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom or anything like that, but it was one of the newer ones where I like popped it in and was instantly transported to when I played Twilight Princess, Wind Waker, Link to the Past. Like it was like in Avatar: The Last Airbender where you have like all of your previous lives and they all like like come to you. Like that's literally it. And I've been very fortunate to have that moment many times in my life where I'm like I feel connected to a part of my life that I like am so far past, but I'm still fortunate to have.
Yeah.
Like that's how I felt with Kingdom Hearts 3.
So vanilla Kingdom Hearts 3 I loved. I did have a lot of issues with it, but overall I did love it. Unfortunately though, this game did split the community in half. Some people liked it, some people hated it, and then there are people in the middle. I absolutely loved it. But how about you? Did you like or not like it? And why do you think this game split the community in half?
I liked the game. It was definitely not my favorite game in the series. And you're talking base, right?
Yeah,
Before
vanilla,
Rewind
yeah.
comes out? Okay, because I loved the game when it first came out. Obviously not a fan of the Tangle World. Or not,
Yeah.
not Tangled, Frozen. I meant
Yeah,
Frozen.
yeah, very
Tangled. I loved.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
same here.
I loved most of the games in it, or most of the worlds in it. Caribbean was fantastic.
Yes.
But I think I forget if we were talking about this beforehand or during this. But I dislike how disconnected Sora is from most of the worlds as the game goes on, where it's like this world no longer has an impact on like the story of Sora or like the story of the characters.
Yeah.
But it's rather just like, all right, we go to this world. Okay, bye. Like that's not one of my favorite things. Because Kingdom Hearts 1 did that incredibly well. Kingdom Hearts 2 does it good in
Enough.
parts.
Yeah.
But Kingdom Hearts 3 felt very disconnected. And that was one of the things that I disliked about it, was just that disconnect. Combat was pretty good. I definitely enjoyed it. It's definitely... Base Kingdom Hearts 3 is definitely more um like mob oriented
Yeah.
versus like single fights and
Yeah.
stuff like that. You don't really get that too much until like the end of the game.
Yeah.
That one-on-one fights. And so it was a different way of playing it, but I think the reason that it split the fan base, and this is a thing with pretty much anything in life, is change is always difficult,
Oh yes.
whether for the better or for the worse. And sometimes change comes in a new product, in a new idea, in a new thing. And Kingdom Hearts 3, you're obviously going to get like A, the nostalgia goggles, B, this is a brand new thing. So like a lot of people are like, oh, I love this. Oh, I hate this. Like right out the gate, right?
Yeah.
But there's like this cycle of change where it's like new thing is introduced, people feel very strongly about it. Time goes by, people settle with it, and then
Yeah.
something else new comes along, right?
Nice timeline.
And so,
Yeah.
yeah. And so we're pretty much at that point of like time has passed now, we can live with it. But I think that's the big thing with any game, with well, life in general, but like specifically gaming. Like you get a new entry in a game series and they're like you get YouTube videos on this is the best game ever. Blah, blah, blah. And then you get other ones where it's like this is the worst game ever.
Yeah.
And that's just how it is. Like
Yeah.
that's the voices that are going to ring the most,
Yeah.
is those best and worsts. You're not going to get like a ton of the people who are like oh, this game was fine,
Yeah.
like that. A, because that doesn't get views, uh,
Yeah.
but B, like yeah, like that's, I think that is one detriment about like streaming content creation and stuff like that, is it feels like you're driven to have a very overexpressive opinion
Mm-hmm.
or something like that. Like
It.
you really have to love something or you really have to hate
There's no
something. You
middle
can't-
ground. Yeah.
So,
It's.
and that's why I didn't really get into it, like just in general.
It's just unfortunate because it got to a point where people were getting attacked for saying they like Kingdom Hearts 3, even to this day, to like trigger a toxic Kingdom Hearts fan. Like I like, oh yeah, pretty much. I'm like, shut up, man. People can have their freaking opinion.
Right. That's the thing with any community, is
Yeah,
you've got like
yeah.
this that like extreme group that is just so toxic and stuff like that. I've been very fortunate to not be anywhere near that part of
Mhm.
it. I know it exists. I've heard like the stories and everything like that. I'm a Star Wars fan. There's toxic Star
Oh
Wars
God, yes.
fans. I'm a Zelda fan. There's toxic Zelda fans.
Yes.
Like, I'm of the mindset where there's 3 types of Zelda games and there's one type that I really don't like, and that's the Breath of the Wild clones.
Mhm.
But like, yeah, it's just one of those things where like the loudest voices are going to be the most extreme.
Unfortunately,
And
yeah.
that's unfortunate.
That's called rage baiting. But no,
Yeah.
but then a year later, Remind comes out and they fix everything. They literally fix everything. It's so much so to a point now where Kingdom Hearts 3 plus Remind is my favorite game in the entire series. It was that good. Like, because my biggest complaint with 3 was, where's the dual wielding? Where's Oblivion and Oathkeeper? Where's the data battles? And we got all that and then some. The combat was better. The graphics got better. Like, they made so many. As Yozora is just every single conceivable way the game could get. They made a good game better, in my opinion. So, but how about you now? How much did you enjoy Remind?
I love Remind.
Yes.
I haven't gone back to it a ton, but I definitely went back to it for a little bit before Reconnect, because they had like the data battles thing that they were doing there, which I'm so glad Sonic got to show off her skills, which that's another huge shout out. Sonic Shadow Silver 2, incredible player, created the randomizer, like created the GOA ROM that creates the randomizer and everything like that. She's just an incredible person. But going back to Remind, yeah. But no, like I liked the fixes because there were definitely plot holes and everything that needed fixed, and I think they knew that. And as someone who loves Kingdom Hearts for the combat, like I said before, yeah, like that that combo moveset is so good. And I just remember, what was it, like a weekend where I just sat down. I'm like, okay, it's time for the data battles. And I grinded and I grinded and I went so hard on those data battles because I was already like used to Kingdom Hearts 2. So I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna beat my head against this wall until it breaks. And yeah, that's what I did. That's what I did with Remind, and it was pretty. I'm not gonna say it was pretty easy. It was difficult.
Oh yeah. Oh
but
yeah.
but it didn't take me long to figure out like what was going on with certain bosses and like how to best utilize my toolkit. And then there was Yuzora,
Oh
um,
boy.
where I yeah, it took me 2 nights to figure out Yuzora,
Wow.
and this was
GG.
at without this was at without what was it, guides and
Yeah.
everything like that. Like I was just like, okay, we're gonna figure this out. Like what blocks this, what doesn't block this, blah blah blah. How do I avoid this and everything like that. And some phases came better than others. Like I guarantee one night was just figuring out what he does, and the second night was execution. And yeah, that is still my favorite boss fight that I've ever done, like in general.
It was
Um,
hard but fun. It was hard. It's hard
oh
to
yeah.
describe it because I recently defeated him. Yay! But it
Oh
was
nice.
it was fun. Like lingering will to me was not fun at all. It was just aggravating. But Yozora as a whole was just a fun boss fight.
Mhm. Yeah, and it's the Soulsborne effect where it's
Yeah.
just like it's funny once you get into the mindset and realize that you lose because it's your fault type thing. It's not the game.
Mhm.
Like it's something that you didn't quite execute quite right. Like it wasn't the right timing. It wasn't the right. You were supposed to evade when you were supposed to block or something like that. Like it's those little aspects, and then you go back into it, and it's once again one of those determination things where you're like, okay, like no, I screwed up on this. Okay, let's do it again. Like let's keep going. Let's keep grinding. And that is the thing with Yuzora. He is very consistent.
Mhm.
Lingering Will, yeah, he's a bit of an
Yeah.
issue because he has like 3 primary attacks that he can do in any given phase, and it
Yeah.
changes depending on like what um how it starts.
Mhm.
Like he'll choose his attacks like at his start. So sometimes he'll bike, sometimes he'll take away your magic or attack, sometimes he'll just dive right at you.
Yeah.
Like it just depends, right? Um and having done the rando and stuff like that, I've learned how to do that stuff and figure him out and realize that his whole thing is consecutive attacks and it's not like brute force and everything like that. Um but yeah, with Yozora, it was pretty fair. It's like, nope, here's his attacks. You can block his ball that he captures you in,
Mhm.
takes your keyblade. You can fly away from his thing that sucks up your Kupo coin.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, like once you figure all that stuff out, like yeah, it's just execution at that point. Beat him up, beat up the Sprouse twin, have a good time with him.
All the above.
That was
So
hype when I was like, "That's Dylan Sprouse. Let's fucking go."
yes, and his voice is
Yes.
perfect. I can't
Oh,
wait to
so
see what they
good.
have in store for him in Kingdom Hearts 4. But
Oh, I'm
it's
excited.
just so. Speaking of hype moments, what would you say is your favorite moment in all of Kingdom Hearts?
Favorite moment. I know my favorite moment from like playing the series and stuff like that. Like whenever I beat certain bosses and
Yeah,
figured stuff out and everything like that, right? Um, my favorite moment in the series.
can I tell you mine while you think?
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
because I have a lot. My Axel's my favorite character. I love the epic "got it memorized" speech to Xemnas. But that the moment when spoiler alert, when when Roxas comes back, in Kingdom Hearts 3 when the music plays, the piano, camera turns to his face, do 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 do. I'm like, yeah! That such a perfect moment, and the speech he gives with the music playing in the background was just so. And then in Remind, you get to play as Roxas. Just love that moment so much. But yeah, what about you?
Yeah, so that one's definitely up there for me. Like the first time that I felt that,
Yeah.
and everything like that. That's still one of my favorite pieces of music is Hearts is One. Like that when you're beating up Psyx, you're just decimating that man. But the one that I always go back to, that always hits me really close. And actually, I thought about this today whether or not I actually want to like still make this happen, stuff like that. I thought about making a video essay on how much Roxas means to me,
Yeah.
like as a character and everything like that in his story. The opening of Kingdom Hearts 2, when he
So
is
good.
like, my summer vacation is over, like that. Going back and replaying it and watching that scene over and over, like that hits me more, like just as time goes on. Pretty much anything with Roxas. His fight with Sora on the station is just so good,
So
and
epic.
so well choreographed, and it's him making sure that Sora is the right one to have control. Like it's so good. But yeah, that's the one that always sticks with me. There are so many good moments that I could name, but like that's the one that consistently
Amazing.
hits me.
Amazing. So, comics, let me ask you this. When the fuck is Kingdom Hearts 4 coming out?
2026. Boom. Done.
Perfect. It's funny because that's exactly what I said when the trailer first came out. Because I'm like, wait, it takes usually 4 years to make a game, so came out in 2021 or 2? What? The first trailer.
Yeah, 2021.
So one, two, three, four, five. No, it's only 2. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 6.
Yeah.
So that's the last 4 years. But I'm like knowing Square, and they might delay it for a whole year. So I'm thinking 2026, 2027, somewhere in that area. But then I remember that 2027 would be the 30th anniversary of FF7. So more than
Don't remind
likely,
me.
yeah. So more
Because-
than likely, Kingdom Hearts 4 will come out 2026. Then 7 will be part 3 of 7 remake, and then maybe I don't know FF17 after that. But yeah, but that's when I think Kingdom Hearts 4. How about you?
Yeah, that was honestly my thought too. Was like 2026 because 2027 is the final part of the remake trilogy. It's also when I turn 30, which is a terrifying prospect to think
I'm
about.
37. It's not that bad at all. You will got
you are
this.
young for your age, man.
I get
Like,
that all the time.
Yeah, dude, you got 10 years on me. That's insane.
And it's like
God.
I wish I had that serious adult voice like you do. I have that prepubescent going into puberty voice.
What do you mean? What do you mean? I can.
Oh,
have
3
a
months
voice.
old, really, Rick?
Oh my god. Yeah. No. Like, that's just my singing voice, man. That comes through. I just chill.
But
Yeah,
now,
man. Yeah,
now going
2026.
back to Kingdom Hearts 4, what worlds, Disney worlds, would you like to see in Kingdom Hearts 4?
I've thought about it. Just thinking about like my favorite Disney movies and stuff like that, which that's a rough one to think about because like you could be like my favorite Disney movie is Emperor's New Groove.
Nah,
like,
oh my god,
what-
can you imagine the fourth wall breaking in that?
That'd be insane. But no, like that wouldn't make sense narratively.
Mm-hmm.
Like why would that work in Kingdom
Like
Hearts?
Cusco just like, here's my game, this is his game, this is my game, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah. But the one that people have shared that I was like, okay, this makes way too much sense would be Coco.
Yes,
Like that-
yes.
Especially with it being an afterlife or like an afterworld and stuff like that. Like that would be really good. I feel like Disney could really break out its existential movies and stuff like that. So like Soul and that and even Moana at times like deals with like
yeah.
afterlife and stuff like that, and really just because that's one thing I'll praise Kingdom Hearts for is it does grow up with its fan base pretty well.
Yeah.
Um, especially Kingdom Hearts 2, like it goes to some really dark places.
Yeah.
Especially really early on. The essence of being and emotions make a heart.
It's a
type
kid's
thing.
game. It's
It's a
not.
kid's
It's not.
game. It's by Disney. But yeah, so like being able to really go into like that philosophical route and everything like that and tackle it in a more like kid-friendly way. They've already done that with certain movies.
Mhm.
So do it with Coco, Soul, whatever you feel like doing. So Coco would be mine.
I want Treasure Planet. Give
Oh.
me Treasure Planet, bro.
yeah.
I kid you
Treasure
not.
Planet, Atlantis, get them in there.
Yes, every guest I've had in the past, everyone says Coco for Kingdom Hearts 4. 100% agree.
Yeah.
So
Just narratively, I think it would work.
it's beyond perfect. So last question regarding Kingdom Hearts. What is one Final Fantasy character that hasn't appeared in Kingdom Hearts that you would love to see appear in future Kingdom Hearts games?
That hasn't appeared in Kingdom Hearts.
I want to see Barrett, bro. Where the fuck is Barrett? Seriously.
Dude, that's true. Like, you get most of the FF7 crew in there. Well, you also don't get Vincent.
That's true, yeah.
The closest you get to Vincent is Cloud's gauntlet. In
Pretty
the first
much,
one.
yeah. And his outfit in Cage 1.
Yeah. So, Vincent will be my default if I can't think of anybody else. Actually, the one that I'm thinking of, that'd be pretty cool. Lightning.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Lightning in there. Because 13 was my first Final Fantasy.
Same here.
And I love that crew. There's definitely some low point members. But no, like I thought Lightning was a really cool character, and I'd love to see her in there. But yeah, my boy Vincent, like get Matt Mercer in a
all the time way. Well, unfortunately, comics, we are already past 1 hour. An hour and 20 minutes went by. Like already, really? Yeah. Yeah, and right, because it's fun talking with the friends. So we're gonna have to like wrap this up quickly because I have to like go in like probably 30 minutes. But we'll just I guess just quickly give us Reconnect for you. Like how was Reconnect Day 1 and 2 for you?
Oh my god, Reconnect was insane. Like I remember, so I went there and I was chilling with pretty much speedrunners. Like I was hanging with speedrunners, and that was my room and everything like that. They got there and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna play Smash Brothers." I'm like, "Okay, I'm going down to the hotel bar." Like, I like meeting people. The first people that I met there, incredible group that I met there, Carly, Chad, Lance, and Churro.
Perfect.
Like, were the first 4 people that I met there. Like, that's insane. Now looking back, I'm like, oh my god, I got some of the coolest people that I met. First and foremost. But yeah, day 1, night 1 before day 1 started, I met most of the Spaghetti crew.
Love them.
Yeah, I love that group, man. And then day 1 and 2, I just kept meeting people. I met Brandon, who's one of my good friends.
Love
Sahara,
Brandon.
who's now my emote artist.
Amazing.
I just
Love
like
her
most
too.
of the people that I met there, like KT.
Love Katie.
Yeah, absolutely love all of them. And the second day of Reconnect was my birthday, so I ended up,
Nice.
not spending a ton of time at Reconnect, doing like the events and stuff like that. Instead, I went out for Korean barbecue with my friend Comey, who I mentioned earlier, and
Nice.
some of her mods who are some of my good friends and everything like that. And then went out for drinks with the Spaghettis and drank and had a good time with my speedrunning randomizer people and stuff like
Amazing.
that. So that was just a perfect birthday.
What
Like, that is
was
my favorite.
the night of day 1? We went to this Airbnb and partied there. What did you do?
Night 1, was that the first night of karaoke? I think that might have been the first night of karaoke that I went out with the Spaghetti. Yes, it was, because midnight rolled around and they're like, "All right, happy birthday, guys!" Like, so that was really cool. That's where I met Folsey. Like I ended up
Really?
Like, yeah, I remember that I was
That's so cool.
we had 2 rooms and I was chilling outside and Folsey was just standing there, and we shot the shit for like 30, 45 minutes.
Wasn't that
And
amazing, Folsey?
yeah, Fozzie's just a great dude. Like,
Super
absolutely love
tall
him.
too.
Um,
Like when
oh
I
yeah,
first met Lance, hi Lance, hi. When I met Full Retro, hi Full Retro, and then hi Folsey, hi Teaser. You're all so tall. Wow.
yeah. Well, hell, I met Damo, and like Damo's tall. Like,
Hi
my
Damo.
God. Yeah. But yeah, no, like it's funny that Reconnect was such a blur, but I remember every moment. I just can't
Yes.
pinpoint the days. I was just
And,
like, then I did this, then I did this.
and for Reconnect 2.0, one thing I'm doing differently is I'm going to arrive early. As much as I
Oh,
loved Reconnect, it went by way too fast, bro. It's like we
oh, I
get
have
there
to
and
arrive early.
we went home. I was there for only for 3 days, so I'm gonna arrive 2 days early and stay 2 days later because I
Mhm.
believe 2 days after Reconnect is Carly's birthday, so we're all gonna just like
Ooh.
party with her basically. So yeah.
Oh shit! Now that I know that, yeah, I'm definitely.
They're
staying
not,
over.
and now the more you know, yeah. But I'm
More you know.
staying in the hotel, and that's gonna be because it's like over $2,000 basically for me to stay there
Oh,
for in the hotel. But we have a year
I'm already
in
staying.
advance.
Yeah.
We're saving up now, yeah. And so that's my biggest thing is like I just want. I know why they do 3 days because it's pretty pricey to book hotel rooms, but
Oh yeah.
I just want more days. Like 4 days would be amazing. But honest to God, I am so bloody excited for Reconnect 2.0.
Oh my God. Words can't describe it, man.
But
Like,
yeah, like
I'm
what
so
is something that the last Reconnect did not have that you hope Reconnect 2.0 will have?
Um, honestly, and I've talked with guides about this and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Is like showing off like more of the people who like have like the gameplay talents and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like we did have the data battles and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that, but I'm like, you got enough randomizer people there. You got enough like speedrunners there and stuff like that. Like have them do one at the event. Like that'd be so sick. Like just showing it off and everything like that. Um, but honestly, like I'm down for whatever
Mm-hmm.
they do. Like I will follow them to the ends of the earth and stuff like that. Like yeah, I'm trying to be more involved this year and like help out more and everything like
Yeah.
that because of how much it means to me and stuff like that. So yeah, just in whatever way they go
Can't
forth
wait.
and
And
do, I will
when I
support.
see you, biggest hug in the world for you when we meet Icon on
Oh,
site,
hell
okay?
My arms are gonna hurt after the first day by how hard I'm gonna hug
Pretty
people.
much.
Like that's gonna be insane, dude.
It's been a whole 2 years, but yeah, just so last question, then we'll wrap things up. But like, tell us your remake and rebirth experience. What was remake and rebirth like for you? For me, rebirth is the best game I played this year. Facts. I voted for that for game of the year. I loved it so much. But how about you?
Yeah, so I love Remake and Rebirth. So I have a weird history with Final Fantasy VII. It's one of those games that came out the year I was born. So I feel like I have
Wow,
like a
you were
real
destined.
yeah, like I have a deep connection to that. That and Symphony of the Night both came out the same year I was
Nice.
born. But yeah, so like but I had never played FF7
Mhm.
like up until like the remake and stuff
Mhm.
like that. So I watched the Machine Abridged that Team Four Star
Oh
did.
my god, I love
Um,
it. I love that.
that was my introduction. That's how I
I
learned
love
the
Team
story.
4 Star.
hmm and then I'm like, you know what? Let's play it. So I broke out my copy that I've had for years on the PlayStation,
Mhm.
played through the 3 discs, changed them over when I needed to, did all that. I did it on stream, so I streamed it and had an incredible time with it. Absolutely loved it. And so when I went into remake and was watching the story and everything like that, I'm like, okay, okay. And then we got into rebirth and stuff like that, and I'm still trying to platinum it. I'm doing pretty good with it. The 3D brawler is screwing with me a little bit. Um, but the thing that I love most about the remake and rebirth, well, the trilogy, is it's I have friends who have a lot of problems with it, just
Mhm.
with like how much is in the game, like how much it distracts from the game, how much it changes from the game. But I love the meta narrative of it, of like what it's trying to say about like the art of video games and like just stories in general, where it's like oh, this is what people have always known, but we want to do something different. And so they insert characters or things that are the fans. So like in the first game, it was all about like, oh, here's like the events of the game, but we're trying to change things.
Yeah.
Like Cloud's not going to go on this mission. Tifa's not going to join them, blah blah blah. Oh, here come the plot ghosts. They're like, no, this is how things are. Like, and we need to do this. And so the game plays out exactly as it's supposed to because of how it was before. And so I always looked at that as like, here's the fans being like, no, we want the same thing, but the creators of the game are like, we want to try something different.
Yeah.
Nope, same thing. So it's like that fight. So then you get to Rebirth and it's like, oh no, we're going to do something different because that's no longer like what's holding us back. And so you get characters in it that you didn't have before. You get side quests that didn't happen before. You get these connections that, yes, like make sense in retrospect and everything like that, but are completely new right here. One of my favorite people who played through it and everything like that was KT, because KT never played 7.
Wow.
So this was their first time with the story. And I was like, that's such an interesting dynamic.
Yeah.
Because they're going to reference things that were in the original. They're going to reference this other material that was in like extended universe. So, like I play Ever Crisis. So when they mentioned Glenn and Matt and Lucia, I was like, oh fuck, I know what that means. I love Advent Children. So like they're going to make references to that.
So many references. My God.
Yeah. So it was just really cool that like they were able to tell this really cool meta narrative story and then go in an entirely different direction.
Completely.
And I'm in to see where it goes. Like I'm excited to see where it goes and everything like that.
Yeah.
But I totally get like the people who are like, I'm not getting into this. Like this is,
I don't
this
blame
feels
them.
weird.
Yeah. It's not.
Like,
it's not for everybody. A lot of people are getting tired of the multiverse stuff.
Oh yeah.
But it's just, I love Zach. I fucking love Zach. He was sitting where you're sitting right now. Actually, love you, Caleb Pierce. And the fact that, I mean, I won't say what happens, but if you love Zach, then something happens in Rebirth that made me throw my chair in pure hype. And you know exactly what scene I'm talking about. So yeah, I mean, and I'm like, people actually did not like this. Fuck you. This is freaking awesome. Like it's cool. It was fan service, and I loved it.
And that's where we got to come in with the like perspective taking and everything like that, and be like, oh, F you didn't like this? No. Hold on. It's a difference of opinion.
Yeah.
I try to play Peacekeeper. With
Yeah.
Like, I don't like this game. I'm not quick to, oh, you don't like this game? I'm quick to be like, why? Why don't you like this game? What is it about this game that's like, but I love the game because they put the best girl in it, and she wasn't in the original, so very happy with that.
Yeah, love it.
But yeah, so that's how I feel.
Okay, it's you mentioned earlier. Oh, and then like when I played 7 Remake, I never played OG 7. So after I finished 7 Remake, I went back and replayed OG 7. I mean, played it for the first time. And thankfully, they had cheat codes on the game where you can speed up the game, unlimited magic and unlimited attacks, and you can like...
I didn't play with that. I played analog.
Yeah.
I went to the original.
So that
all
made
I could do was speed up my disc speed, and that was about it.
That made it easier for me for those small things like that, and I loved it. Like the story was amazing, and the gameplay even was amazing. So replaying, going into Rebirth, I knew every reference, every musical note, every like wink wink nudge nudge moment. So yeah, I'm glad I did that. But you mentioned earlier that you had like a Sephiroth story that you wanted to share.
Sephiroth story.
You mentioned earlier that you had like a Final Fantasy or Sephiroth story you wanted to share earlier in the stream.
Oh my gosh, what?
Was it Sephiroth or was it a Final Fantasy story?
It was a Final Fantasy story. I think. I'm trying to. I'm trying to remember which one it was.
Was it
Oh
about
my
the
God.
game? Was it about the movie? Was it about remake or rebirth?
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah. So my mom completely. It's gonna connect. My mom's a huge fan of General Hospital.
Okay.
It's a soap opera. And on that show, there's I'm forgetting the act Steve Burton. That's
Yeah.
it. There's an actor on that show named
I know
Steve
that.
Burton.
I know that person. Yeah.
Yeah, and when I was playing Kingdom Hearts and when I was watching Advent Children, that name came up, and I remember, I'm like, Steve Burton. Yeah, the voice of Cloud was on General Hospital, and so I connected with my mom, and I said, "Listen, if he's ever at a Comic-Con, I'm gonna take you with me so he can sign your photo of him on General Hospital and my photo of Cloud." It'll be so funny.
That'd be
yeah.
amazing.
That was a bonding moment between me and my mom, was learning that Cloud was on General Hospital.
It's
So
that's
that's the fun
something that
stuff.
a lot of the voice actors had to be prepared for. It's why
Mm.
Caleb left social media, because they knew the fan base was passionate about the voices. They grew up with Advent Children stuff.
Yeah.
And so but for me, playing remake, this is the first time I'm hearing Cloud and Tifa and Aerith and Barrett talk. So these characters, they do an incredible job. Like, shout out to everyone. Shout out to Abri for winning the Best Supporting Actor award at the Golden Joystick Awards. Seriously. Like, and the fact that Cody Christian never done voice acting, you couldn't tell, because he does such an incredible job voicing Cloud. Like, these guys are my voice actors now, because they're so
Yeah.
fucking good.
It's one of those cool things where it's just like, especially with like legacy characters like that, where it's like someone has to come in and now there's this weight on your shoulders and stuff like that. And that's something I get with theater a lot.
Yeah.
Is you step into these roles where it's like, okay, there's a lot of history with this role.
Yeah.
Like, right now I'm playing Bob Cratchit in a show.
Nice.
And I'm like, okay, Gary Oldman, Kermit the Frog, Mickey Mouse, like all like, I know, weird, but like all of these characters and people and everything like that have played this character. Like, so what can I do to honor them, but also like make my own and everything like that? And I feel like that's something that a lot of the remake and rebirth casts are being able to do really well.
Very well.
Because once again, like the cycle of change, when I heard Zach's voice for the first time, I was like, okay, I'm not quite vibing with this.
Okay.
But then playing through Rebirth, I was like, okay.
Yes.
I'm in. The first game I speed ran was Crisis Core Reunion, and so
Nice.
I really used to his
Love that
voice.
game.
Yeah, it was so good, and I was like, okay, I'm used to his voice now. Like, and so yeah, Caleb does an
We
incredible
love you,
job with
Caleb.
his-
We
his
love you,
own
Caleb.
take. Yeah.
Caleb
Yeah,
is
it's-
my Zach, my personal, because I never played OG Crisis Core.
I love the original voice.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I cannot think of his name right now for the life of me.
Richard something, I think.
Richard, yeah. But I loved like the gruffness. Like it was optimistic gruffness.
Yeah.
That came with his voice and stuff like that. And plus, Me Gungaga is just such a name, and you can only hear it in that voice if you
Yeah.
play the original.
Me, Gungaga.
So, like,
Yeah.
yeah, so then you hear like the remake and you're like, that doesn't hit quite the same. But I love Caleb's, like, he takes the optimism and turns it into not quite naive.
Yeah.
Because Zach knows how the world is. He knows where he came from and
Yeah.
everything like that. But he takes it in a way that just allows it to be more full of hope. Rather than like, no, I know how everything is, but I'm going to do it with a smile on my face.
And that's why I love him so much. Like, he's basically Sora. Him and Sora would get along so fucking well. Like, his optimism, his cheerfulness. He's a cheerful goofball. You know what I mean? Love it.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. So, going with you mentioned earlier about how you playing a role that someone else played. Back in high school, I was in Noises Off, and I played Barnaby, that the role that fucking the guy who played Superman back in the day. What's his name? You know him? Christopher Reeve, he played that role. So like when I found that out, I'm like, oh shit, Superman played this role. I gotta give him my all now. So I know exactly where you're coming from with that.
Oh, yeah,
But
I feel that.
so my absolute last question is for everyone watching right now that's a part of your community and stuff. What is something they can look forward to from you in terms of content? What do you have in store for them?
Well, in the very limited chances that I stream, it's been I've been very busy, and we haven't even talked about theater and songwriting and everything like that. Like I'm doing so much right now, that streaming has kind of taken a back seat. Unfortunately. But other parts of my life are thriving, so I'm thankful for that. But I did come back to streaming earlier this week.
Nice.
And I started on Near Replicant.
Nice. That's my game, bro.
I have never touched the Nier series before. It's one that I've always wanted to play. I've always heard that I was going to have a fun time with it and everything like that. And I came into it and was enjoying the combat, enjoying the characters, what's going on and everything like that. So that's what you can have to look forward to. Plus, like, your usual rando content and everything like that, just like every once in a while. I don't have any set hours right now, but it would most likely be like in the evenings.
Okay. Okay. I will be there.
Like 10,
I will be there. Anything for my robot booty waifu. 2B is just holy fuck. Okay, we'll
I haven't gotten to 2B yet. Hold on. I don't know 2. I just got introduced to Kaine here recently, so.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Which I was like, hi.
Oh, silly me! You said replicant, not automata. I'm sorry. It's been a long day. It's fine.
We'll get to 2B here in a little bit.
Yeah. But yeah. Well, Kaine's also pretty awesome. Yeah. So yeah. With that being said, now we're gonna teleport now to our fan favorite section of the show called Top 10 Questions on Motown Downtown.
Top 10 questions. You got the questions. Top 10 questions. I got the answers. Top 10 questions. Better get your answers ready.
Where I will ask my guests 10 questions courtesy of Inside the Actor's Studio. So, Crazy Comics, are you ready?
Sure.
All right, so my first question is, what is your favorite word?
My favorite word? Man, I'm an English major. I should have a favorite word. I don't know. Spunk.
What is spunk. Your least favorite word?
Least favorite word? Depending on the day, moist.
It's always moist. It's always freaking moist. Everyone for 4 seasons straight says moist. It's always moist.
So easy.
Yeah. What makes you happy?
My friends.
Aw. What makes you upset?
Being alone.
I can relate. Yeah, I can relate.
long stints of being alone. I can be alone with myself, but like if it's long stints.
What sound or noise do you love?
Sound or noise do I love? You put on the movie Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Whenever he knocks someone out and it just goes KO, like, like there's no bigger fuck yeah moment than hearing that. I love it.
What sound or noise do you hate?
Animals' claws on freaking hardwood floor.
you came in prepared, like you knew that question in advance. As soon as you said
favorite, I'm like, oh, I know my least favorite.
You love to not hear it.
Oh,
so, man. Crazy Comics, what is your favorite curse word?
Oh, motherfucker.
Hells yeah. So, what profession, other than your own, would you like to attempt?
Ooh. Other than my own profession, unemployed. Um, no, honestly, I would. One of the jobs I like doing, but I couldn't do it full time. I like doing telecommunications. I like
Okay.
running wire in building. Like, I think that's really fun.
Yeah, okay. What profession would you not like to do?
Working on an oil rig.
Mm.
It sounds like hell.
If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Uh, you did good, kid.
One more round of applause for our good friend Crazy Comics. Thank you again for coming by, man. We were having so much fun that I lost track of time. We're now almost 2 hours in. Amazing guest. Amazing. You're one amazing guest, buddy.
I love it, man. Thank you for having me. Thank you for being an excellent host, man.
And of course, I'm gonna look for somebody to raid. So while I look for that, how about some parting words for the audience?
Thank y'all for coming out, listening to me and Mo chat about everything. Life's too short to not do what you love. So do what you love with who you love, and just have a good time with whatever it is you're doing.
We're gonna go raid our friend Treehouse. He's doing a subathon right now, and I oh god dang it, raid Treehouse_TTV. Please work. Perfect. There we go. What should the raid message be, Comics?
What should the raid message be? Well, just do my raid message. We're sending the craziness to you.
Sending the craziness to you. There we go. Copy and paste that in his chat. One more shout out for Crazy Comics, please. And yeah, thank you again for coming by, buddy. I will be back next Tuesday with Persona 3 Reloaded. The first 3 hours. So I'll see you then. Have a fantastic weekend. Thank you for coming by, and we'll catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Peace.